Hey everyone, welcome to our speaker session with the family of Chris Younger, our 2021 to 2022 CHAP child. 100% of the proceeds this year will be going to Chris and his family. Mr.
I'm Heidi. I'm mom. This is Chris.
I'm Eric. I'm dad.
I'm Colby. I'm Noah.
And sister took off.
He comes.
She's coming. She's coming.
Alexis.
Chris was born with truncus arteriosus, which is a congenital heart defect. At 5 days old, he underwent his first open heart surgery. After that, at about a month and a half, he had a pacemaker placed. From that point on, he pretty much had about twice a year appointments with a cardiologist. About age 7, he had his second open heart surgery, followed by another surgery to place a melody valve in, 2019? In 2019. And from then on, he's been doing really good. We normally just go in and get his heart checked with his cardiologist about twice a year. And that's pretty much, other than that, he lived a normal life as a high school student. And in August, 3 days into his freshman year, he became ill. And at the time, our school was shut down because of COVID. So he got ill real quick. Within 24 hours, he was extremely sick, from just a little cough to turning blue. So it happened so quick, and we didn't know that at that time he was going into septic shock, and he was put on life support. Unfortunately, life support doesn't supply accurate blood flow to anything that's not vital organs. I'm gonna start crying, guys. You better take over, Dad.
All right. So when Chris went into septic shock and everything shut down, so your body will just force blood supply to the vitalist pieces. So it went to his heart and his brain. So everything else was shut down: liver, kidney, all the organs were shut down, and he was put on life support, which is like an ECMO machine that supplies oxygenated blood to your body. And he was there for a while, and he coded for a little bit, which means he actually did pass away. But we were told there was probably like a 10% chance of survival. And since he already had a pacemaker and a heart condition, they really couldn't give us a percentage, because 10% was to a healthy person that had the same stuff. About a few days into it, he just regained heart function. He regained heart function and woke up. So, but in the meantime, the restriction of the blood vessels to his extremities were so severe that he was never going to regain blood flow to his lower limbs and his right arm and 4 of his digits on his left hand. So then in October, he had first of many amputation surgeries. And from then, it was take a little here, clean up, see what we could survive. And then in February of this year, early February, we got to come home for a few months and kind of fill out a lot of stuff and get comfortable. Then we went back and did skin grafting, and that's kind of where we are now. We're doing skin grafting, rehab. Chris's overall health now is a lot better. He had no kidney function for a while, so we had to do dialysis for months, and then that finally came back, and now he's okay.
His kidneys are in recovery stage, where he was still in February, he was still in failure, but now he's in recovery. I don't think anyone can really plan for their child to just fall ill one day. And, prior to this, we would set the money aside for a rainy day, thinking, oh, maybe a month or two, maybe we might have to be in the hospital. But we never thought that our son would get sepsis. And unfortunately, the recovery stage is said to be from a year to 2 years. And we honestly just didn't prepare to have a full 2 years set aside to financially take care of our family. So right now, by God's will, we've made it this far, and we're just trying to make ends meet, honestly.
Yeah, we're on a month to month right now. We had savings, but that went pretty quick. It goes a lot quicker than you think. Your month to month for a family of 6 is a lot. So it happened a little quicker, and we thought that funding from the state and things like that would be more adequate, and they're not. They're not. We really don't get nothing. We have food vouchers from the state, but other than that, they don't really do anything. It seems that they would, but they don't. And Chris is a 24-hour on the clock, so anytime Chris moves, I have to pick him up to go there. Anything that he needs, his mom or I have to do it, and I can't go to work and leave Chris. Even if the hours are okay, if I had 12 hours for me to do it and 12 hours for my wife to do it, some of those hours interlap where we have to be together. So it's not just like I can do half a day, she can do half a day. That's the way it works. A lot of things that we do, we have to do as a team. So the going to work isn't an option for us right now. So it's kind of a real scary situation as a provider for your family, not really knowing how you're going to provide.
Yeah, I completely understand. Last year's CHAP child, actually, Ethan McCoy, his family actually spoke to us in an interview about something similar. When you have a family with siblings and other children you have to attend to, it's really hard not only to have to care for your siblings, but also to have to balance a work life and also balance your child. And I think it's just so commendable and so amazing that, family especially is like one of the strongest bonds throughout this entire process. And I think that's really showing through here. I think people tend to focus a lot on the financial burdens, just like on medical bills, but a lot of the times they tend to forget about like transportation costs, not even being able to go to work, because you have to care for your child, all of the other children that you have to care for, not only your hospitalized child. So again, thank you for being so open with us. So we wanted to ask, aside from recovery, are there any fun things that Chris and your family like to do to pass time at the hospital?
Fortnite.
Yeah, Chris is a Fortnite teacher. He's taught his nurses. He even taught me, and I couldn't even watch video games before.
Yeah, I'm not a video game guy, and my wife sure isn't. And we just one day he wanted to play, so I played it with him. He didn't have the ability to play, so he just walked me through, playing. And so we're pretty much experts at Fortnite. I can beat most of the little kids around here.
He's ninja.
I'm a ninja.
What else do you like to do, Betty?
Yeah. Chris, hold on. Chris plays now too, though.
Yeah, Chris has learned how to play.
Chris can play with the Xbox controller. It's really big for us. Like, we'll play side by side, and I'll look. For me, I'm not even paying attention. So I'm just using my thumbs and my fingers. And Chris is got the controller mounted, pressing every button individually with his nub, and he keeps up with all of us. It's inspiring to see him. You stop looking, and then you watch what he's actually doing, and he's working really hard and keeping up with all of us.
Well, you know what? My brother is also really into Fortnite. So if you guys ever want to do duos, just let me know.
We'll do squads.
Squads, yeah. Sounds good. And also, just a few other short trivia questions for Chris. Chris, do you have a favorite TV show that you want people to know about?
What have you been watching lately? That's hospital.
Oh yeah, The Office.
Office. That's a good one, I must say. It's a good one. Do you have a favorite sports team?
Not really. I mean, kind of. Well, I guess Stanford. Um, my family all likes Stanford, 49ers, Giants. My mom's is Cowboys, but
Yeah.
Rep in California and Texas. Interesting. Yeah, my mom also has a rivalry with the Cowboys actually, because her brothers are Cowboys fans. So there's always a constant rivalry for some reason. That's fun to hear.
We have that same thing here. I
Yeah.
couldn't convince any of the kids to become a Cowboys fan, so I'm kind of just stuck in the middle here.
like one of my favorite bands is probably Queen. Some other ones like AC/DC, Metallica, Johnny Cash, stuff like that.
Yeah, when this all happened, my other kids were at school, and I called my mom and I said, Mom, I'm heading to the hospital with Chris. I don't know what's wrong, but this is real serious. I need you to just go get my kids. I left my house unlocked, get them whatever they need. And we were gone. We because of COVID, hospitals aren't so open to visitors. So once we were there, we didn't want to leave because we were scared we were going to bring something back to Chris. And so we just, made the phone calls to family. We even had coaches that had stepped up, and on the weekends, they would have the kids spend the night at their house just so they could provide our children with the normalcy of our kids play football, they play cheer. So the coaches stepped up and said, hey, you know what? I'll give your family a break and I'll keep your kids over the weekend and let them go to their sports function. We're approved for a family visit. So it was outside of the hospital, and it was the first time they were able to see their sibling.
Christmas morning.
Yeah. So it's definitely been a struggle, and we were lucky that our school's real supportive as well. And instantly, as soon as this happened, pulled in counselors to talk to our kids. And I was texting the principal back and forth every day, how are they doing? Are they keeping up with school? And and they were really good. We made sure we surrounded ourselves with people that were real caring and loving to our family and our children. And we had people, for example, like you guys, that reached out to us going, wow, we heard about your story, and your child's so amazing, we want to help you. And I honestly feel like that's what's got us this far is the support that we've got from loved ones, strangers, neighbors, just word of mouth. People have been doing God's work, spreading the joy around with us, helping us get through these things.
What advice would you give to families with a loved one in the hospital?
My biggest advice is advocate for your patient. If you feel like something's wrong or something's not being done right, be voiceful for them. There were so many times that Chris had incidents come up in the hospital that I had to tell the doctors, no, this isn't right. And they're like, well, this is how the book says. I said, I don't care how the book says it. This isn't how it works for Chris. You have to do it this way. There's so many times over and over. I couldn't even count the amount of times. And I think that is the most important thing for a patient, is to have a family member that can really stand up for them when they are sick and they can't speak for themselves. And then, of course, Grubhub and home cooked meals are always great too.
I'd probably say just keep praying for them. Make sure that they know that you care.
Yes, definitely.